What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to this week's edition of NKU Sports Break. I'm your host, Trey Bowden. Joining me on the show today is former NKU baseball pitcher and current professional baseball pitcher, Nate Jones. Thanks for coming on, Nate.
Hey, no problem at all. Thank you for having me on, Trey.
Absolutely. So, Nate, what have you been up to since the season ended?
Oh, that's a great question. Right now I'm right in the swing of things. I'm actually doing a lot of conditioning, weightlifting, and things like that. And this week I'm actually starting my throwing program. So I'm pretty excited about that. Get back into it and throwing the baseball around a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. There's nothing like throwing the baseball around. So what was it like growing up in Kentucky, getting to go to Northern Kentucky, and then this past season getting to pitch for the Reds?
Oh, yeah, that was pretty cool. I got asked that question a little bit this season. And one thing, growing up and being in school, at our schools, like we would have the AB honor roll and like perfect attendance. And the little treat for that, they would give you free tickets to go to the Reds games. And, I'm not saying I had perfect attendance or it was on the AB honor roll every year, but, I got to go a couple of times. And, just to have a team that close and to root for and that you see on TV and actually then get to go to the stadium, that was pretty cool. And then, I always heard about college and I always heard about NKU, and my sister actually transferred into NKU. And so she went there. And just having the opportunity to play baseball there, and not only just having the opportunity to play baseball at the collegiate level was a pretty awesome feat from where we're from. But so that was pretty cool. And that obviously moved me a little bit closer to the Red Stadium. And even in the college days, we got to go, one or two times there to see them play. And, it didn't hit me that, maybe one day I could be playing there. Even after I got drafted, I was like, oh man, this is awesome. I got drafted. What an honor this is. And still didn't realize, it didn't click that, I had a chance or whatever. And so I was fortunate enough to stick around and stay healthy enough to be able to get picked up by the Reds last off season. And, even though this whole COVID thing kind of shut all the fans down and whatnot, it was still kind of like a childhood dream almost. Like, it's still surreal to be out there and be on that field. The same one that I came and watched games to when I was younger.
Absolutely. And you mentioned, playing at NKU. What were some of the things you learned while at NKU that contributed for your success in the major leagues?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one thing, that was the first time I had heard of or done like a strength and conditioning program. At our high school level, we had a head coach, we had an assistant coach, and that was it. And we worked on our fundamentals. And we took batting practice every once in a while, like a treat. It would be like throwing or getting a hit live BP. Mm-hmm. But coming to NKU, there's a lot of structure, a lot of, like I said, a lot of different programs, shoulder exercises that I've not even heard of or done before. And so I think it helped me to grow in that mentality of what it needed or what I needed in order to, compete with everyone else, and at that time, compete with everyone at the collegiate level. Because I think my freshman year, I only had like 4 innings or something like that. And that's something, coming from high school and, everybody's their best high school player. And so I wasn't used to, and I was like, all right, I'm really going to have to buckle down here in order to get more innings. I had to like kind of start that mentality of like fighting for your job, I guess, type of deal. Like if you want to play, you got to be better than everyone else. And so, started really buckling down and just gradually increasing my innings each year. I think my sophomore year might have been 20 something innings. And then my junior year, kind of really got on it. I think is maybe somewhere in the 80 inning range or something like that. But
that's a big jump. That's a real big
jump.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool to have that sense of responsibility as well. Before the season, Coach Aslan and Coach Dizzy Payton kind of sat me down, and they told me, like, if we're going to have a chance or if we're going to be good, you're going to be our X factor. Like, it's going to be like, if you're good, we're going to be good or whatever. And so I was like, all right. And that gave me that sense of responsibility. I had a role on the team, like, all right. And so really buckled down, did a lot of extra stuff. before that junior season, and obviously all that paid off from there.
Yeah, it definitely did. And, what was your favorite NKU baseball memory?
Favorite memory. I guess there'd be a couple of them. I remember both of them kind of almost happened on back-to-back weekends. There was a time where I had a win and a save in the same day because we would play the doubleheaders.
Mm-hmm.
And so, go in and close one game and then go pitch a couple innings the next game and ended up with the win. But to go right along with that hand in hand, there was almost a time where I got 2 losses in the same day as well. So those were just, kind of funny moments. And another moment that, something I always remember, it's not really, I wouldn't say the best moment, but, my grandpa had passed away. And Coach Dizzy Payton offered to stay back and did stay back with me so I got to attend the funeral and things like that. And then we drove from there to go to, it might have been St. Louis or Missouri Rolla at that point. But I thought that was cool as an ultimate gesture of the coaches actually do care about the person and willing to do whatever it takes for you and, to get you through situations. And so that was a pretty cool moment during the college days as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that speaks to the person Dizzy is and, who Todd is and the whole coaching staff is.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. A blessing being able to play for him.
Mm-hmm.
So if there was one valuable lesson you've learned from COVID, what would that lesson be?
Oh, it's, I would say, it has to be adversity. Like, how do you deal with adversity? Everybody's going through something different. And this is like pre-COVID. Everything, you always hear that saying, you don't know what the other person is going through. Well, COVID has affected us all. Like, no matter if we're just quarantining to stay safe, or we actually had COVID, or we know someone that has COVID, or we're caring for people that does, it's adversity, and it's how you deal with that. And, it's the fact of not just clamming up and shutting down. And it's like, we can get through this together. We can do this together. And it's the way you kind of deal with life in general. It's just like, you don't clam up or hide away all the time because life is getting hard. No, you buckle down, you get after it, and there's going to be a tomorrow. And so that's got to be one thing, is just learning how to deal with adversity. And, and everybody's got their opinions on everything, but we can always get through this together, working together to get through this adversity, what's happening and what's affecting, everybody in this world. If we don't, it's just going to get harder and harder and tougher and tougher. So, those are things I take away from it for sure. And it was obviously a tough season dealing with it, no fans being there, and just all the protocols and restrictions that we had to go with, and not wanting to bring it home to my family and stuff like that. So it was an interesting year, but hey, we're all still here. We've made it, and we're going to continue to move forward with it too.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more, Nate. Again, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show today, and, good luck to you and the upcoming season. And I can't wait to watch you out there on the mound. That's it for this week's edition of NKU Sports Break. We'll see you again next time.